Everyone, it's Dr. Neville Campbell, and welcome to my show. Here we seek to inspire and educate people through the most interesting discussions and conversations with some amazing people in health, wellness, and entrepreneurship. Each episode will dive deep into what's transforming the lives of these people. We'll touch on the subjects that not many people touch on. We'll touch on things that makes them uncomfortable, but we'll explore the things that they've learned, the lessons that they've gained along the way, and how they've overcome. If you're someone just looking for health and wellness advice, ideas on how to grow your business, or just a boost to achieve your daily goals, you're in the right place. Join us as we explore these interesting conversations, helping each and every one of us to transform into our healthier and more successful selves.
What's up, my guy?
All right, man. Let's do this, brother.
Yes,
Welcome
sir.
back to the show, man.
Hey, man, thank you for having me again.
Let's
Hey,
go.
Cheers to that.
Hey, man, cheers to that, my guy.
Yes, sir.
It's been a long time coming, man. We've talked about this.
Yes.
We've explored the idea.
Yep.
And here we are today, man.
I mean, we talked about this for weeks on end, maybe 2 months,
Dude, and it's been a long time coming, man.
Yeah, I'm excited because we can actually talk about, we can have our daily talks on the show,
So, as I was thinking about, a podcast, developing a podcast, what do we share? What do we talk about? What are the topics that we dig deep into? Every time I get questions from people, it's the why. Mm-hmm. How did you get here? What were the challenges that you faced? So last year, as you were going through last year, thinking about sort of you're coming up on 2025. Were there some lessons that you learned along the way, man, in business, in personal life, in friendships? I mean, what did you get and what you hope to change in 2025?
Definitely. With business-wise, it was just finding the right staff that fit my, aura and fit the direction that I wanted the actual business to go. I wanted to be a family oriented. When you come in, you can laugh through your pain, but we also get you through your pain. Everybody's knowledgeable. On top of that, it's the balance between business and personal.
Gotcha.
You're always out hustling, dinners, events, things of that nature. You got to find time for yourself to decompress, because you deal with a lot of people. You treat patients, but you're also out with people too as well. Health professionals or lawyers, or attorneys or anybody that, surrounds, the personal injury or health and wellness,
space.
Yeah.
So guys, for those of you who don't know, Dr. Patrick Kulmacz is one of the leading chiropractors here in Atlanta. He's the owner of the Paul Clinic that's located in Stockbridge, Atlanta. And, he's been practicing for several years now with plethora of information, plethora of knowledge to share. But what struck me most about him when we connected was his model of care. That drew me in. That was my why for him. His model of care, he had a great patient population. He had a great reputation in the community. How does one develop that, right? As I'm coming in this market, brand new market, I want to tap into people's mindsets to see how did they navigate to become the who they are right now. And so, Dr. Patrick, as we talk about your business and talk about sort of what you gained from 2024, that structure that you're looking for, how did it go? Did you put it together? And how was the process of putting it all together? Did you have mentors that you asked? Did you research the information? How did you get to the solution that of the issue that you were facing?
I was actually fortunate to be underneath Dr. Paul, who I bought the practice off of, and he's been in practice since 1977. Giving me a plethora of knowledge on business and also how to run the business, but also how to treat the patient as well. We learn how to treat the patient in school, and I just got out of school. So he gave me the knowledge about how to apply that in the business. From there, I made my own model, and also grassroots, really connections in the community, whether that had been attorneys, whether that had been doctors, whether it just been, professionals all the way around. I looked at their businesses and I looked at how I could apply it to mine and made a model that, anybody, it doesn't matter how much money you have, how much, whatever you're coming with, we can treat that.
Yeah.
And if we can't treat that, we know where you should go. It's been very a staple in the business for sure. Each one of my staff are very knowledgeable about chiropractic, but also knowledgeable about the body as well. So that really helps me out too, because sometimes patients come in, they see the therapist first, and then they're, have questions. They're able to answer those, kind of have an idea about what is going on. Then they come into me and we dive a little deeper into what's going on. So, it's been a great model. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for sharing, man. So, we're going to explore a lot of things. We'll talk about mentorship just now, because as Dr. Patrick just mentioned, he was mentored by someone who was very established in the community. Is mentorship important? That's definitely a topic for another time, but certainly something that I'll dive deep into, because I believe that that does play a role in the why you see people. How did they get there? It's not without mentorship. No one is an island. Well, I was born with all the information. And as a result of that,
I would like to talk about that mentorship.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Mentorship.
Let's talk about mentorship. Let's go.
Mentorship is everything, because that's who guides you through your way of life. If you have the wrong mentor and they guide you in a wrong way, say you have a shifty person.
Yeah.
And you're taking knowledge from them.
Yeah.
That turns you into that shifty person.
Gotcha. I see.
You have people that go for mentors that they had to pay for.
Okay.
They have different, whatever businesses, and they're paid to come in, look at your business, scale it for you, mentor you. But what real knowledge did you get from that? Was that a personal or is that a business knowledge? I think the mentor should be also personal and business.
Gotcha. So not just for your business growth, but your personal growth. And that's an important point, people, because you know what? People, who makes up a business?
Right.
The people, right? So if the people
you don't have any
growing, then how can the business grow? So it is important to understand that even when you're mentoring, an organization, the key part of the mentorship is you have to get to the people at the granular level, because when each person change and grow, then that's when overall growth happens. I think sometimes we miss the concept and focus on the organization, and we don't realize that the people are the ones who truly make up the organization.
And I think having that personal and business together allows you to take in that knowledge a little bit different than having to pay for it, or you see where this person is. You're just trying to gain knowledge to get ahead. But if you find that personal and business in one person, you're able to personally take that in mentally and then also apply it truly.
Gotcha.
It's not a fake. It's not a facade. It's just in your heart. It's how you move.
Now, you mentioned in your heart. Let's talk about that for a second. So a lot of people, with things in your heart, right? It comes from, your upbringing, the people who were around you while you were being raised. So tying into mentorship and tying into, what's in your heart. Let's explore a little bit about, what your childhood life was like.
It was great. So, adopted when I was 8 months, raised by two great parents. And it was a different life growing up. I had two Caucasian parents and, I'm African American. So it was kind of a different dynamic, but it instilled a lot of great things in me. I'm able to talk to anybody, able to resonate, understand, okay, I see that walk of life. And not judge, be able to help and be able to give that. And one thing I wanted to touch on, it's like you say heart. It's like, what is your heart? My heart is my mother. She would give back to everybody, give her last dollar to anybody, to a stranger. And that's why I do a lot of my give backs, Easter, Thanksgiving, Christmas. I want to see that still be in my heart. And that's what drives me.
Folks, there you have it. I mean, it's that's one to think about for a second. Mentorship, our upbringing, a lot of that stuff, I'm sure most people don't even know, that you were adopted and, you were raised by two Caucasian parents, and then you were, African-American, having to balance the conflicts. There are conflicts, in life, conflicts on TV, conflicts with your friends at school, and you're constantly reconciling all of this because you have to see sort of both sides of the coin and then still transform from that. So what I'm interested in really finding out from you, Pat, is during those younger years of your life, right, when you were let's say 10, 11, 12 in school,
Mhm.
and, you saw, you're at school, did you identify as, African American? Did you identify as Caucasian? Like, how was that? And how did that
I get
translate
this.
into your overall learning process? Was it a challenge?
So I get that question a lot. Actually, I didn't wake up in my head to know that I was adopted until I was about third grade. So I always, that's mom and that was dad. Because, when I opened my eyes, I was adopted at 8 months. So when he really starts seeing and looking and taking in mentally, then, okay, mom and dad, you're not questioning. You look into your side. Okay, that's their mom and dad. This is my mom and dad. I never really identified with one thing. It's not me, you know. When you start to look at race, you start to, differentiate yourself from people or distance yourself, or, it's just not a good thing. We're all human. We all, make mistakes. We all have good. We all have bad, in any population, any race, So I look at just the human and where they're at in their life. And that's the most important thing. So,
Folks, the heart. If I can summarize that, it's who you are inside. What's your heart like, right? Because that really guides your decisions, guides your interactions, it guides it becomes the filters through which you see the world, believe it or not. And I'm really happy that, through the process, you were able to navigate your path, through, the various forces and influences that were pulling on you, whether it's, kids in school to go this way versus parents to go this way, and you're reconciling all of that, plus managing your academics and then striving and rising through all of that.
Yeah.
And becoming Dr. Patrick Kulmacz, a board-certified chiropractic doctor.
Yes, sir.
That is now an owner of a major clinic in Stockbridge, doing amazing work and is well known in the community.
I appreciate it.
Isn't that impressive?
It's a feat, but I still gotta keep on going. I got my eyes on a whole different project.
Cheers, man. So if you had to leave, let's say, any sort of advice to any young person coming up right now, right? Mm-hmm. Having similar challenges, because I think that's unique to you, sort of where you are, what you came out, and how you navigated all of that to where you are right now. Most people look at you, the end product. They look at sort of where you are right now, the successful person you are, but people oftentimes don't understand your journey. They don't understand the pathway. They don't understand the challenges that you had to face, the lessons that you had to learn, and how you transformed all of those into the positive, which then pushed you forward to continue achieving to reaching greater and greater. If you had anything to share with anyone, what would that be?
I would definitely say start by having a goal. All right. You have to have determination, time management, perseverance. Don't ever take your eye off that goal. It's, that's when you get sidetracked and you end in the ditch, and then you try to get up out, then you're looking for help. Everybody's just like doing this. If you stay on track and you make the right steps, you gotta have that goal, but you also have to know steps to get there.
Gotcha.
I can't say I want 1 million and proof is just going to be there, or somebody's going to bring it in a bag. I got to make sure that I went to school. I stayed in school, stayed in the library, coffee shop. I knew then the next goal is to go to chiropractic school. Then while I was in chiropractic school, I started looking at offices and how I would want to run my office, where I were to go from there. So always have goals, have your major goal and then end goals to get there.
Folks, there you have it, man. My God, you know what? I really appreciate having you on.
Yes, sir.
First episode, but man, this is about to be life-changing.
Yes, sir. I love it.
I'm certain that, though we've just scratched the surface, and what I'm going to do, folks, this is just scratching the surface, right? We have so much to discuss, so much to uncover. And you know what? Typically, I don't want to, push the tough questions just yet. I hope you already talked, but I can't push the tough questions just yet, right? I have to ease people into what's to come. But no, it's going to get to the point where it is not comfortable. But I think that's where we begin to understand and learn, where we begin to really, truly see the fibers that are similar in each and every one of us. We begin to understand the threads that are running and connecting him as a person, me and someone who's a different nationality, that these are all similar threads. And so the differences that we're seeing, when you put those differences aside and begin to understand the similarities, that's when you truly understand the why, knowing that you, me, every one of us have that in us. It just needs to be activated. Stay tuned.